Hey everyone. You'll probably get a chance to check it out because I would imagine I'm going to have it uploaded before I do this one. But yeah, check out my video. Matter of fact, I haven't actually even created a title as of yet, but it's basically me reading from a Reason magazine and talk about libertarians and how we need the rest of society to get back to the basics of let's just leave each other alone, right? Because that's how the U.S. was basically set up. The founding fathers, they were very instinctive and understand because, that there's a reason why they kicked the British out, right? Taxation without representation, constantly being bullied, intimidated, kicked around, having their economic prosperity plundered. So yeah, so the American people, the founding fathers in particular, definitely understood the importance of adopting a live, let live mentality and having a more libertarian way of dealing with people socially or economically. And why? Because it's the most prosperous. Just like even in your own personal life. Think about it. If you're constantly using force or stealing from people, how good's that relationship with that person on the other side of the equation? Probably not so good, right? But if you use peaceful interactions, ask them for money or help or assistance, or they lend you money or you borrow money, whatever. If it's all voluntary, and you treat each other with mutual respect and dignity, even if at the end of the day you don't like each other, you might even loathe each other, right? But if you at least treat each other with mutual respect and use voluntary interactions, as you know, that's the best you're going to have, best chance, best hope you have of having a peaceful relationship with the person on the other side of that equation. Nothing is a guarantee in life, of course, right? They might go completely mad on you for some reason, for maybe no reason, right? But if you do the right things, it at least gives you the best potential. Like I say, there's nothing that's going to perfect societies, humanity, or all that shit ever, right? We're never going to be this, or I shouldn't say never, right? Never say never, but not anytime in the future where everybody's going to be perfect human beings. I can't imagine that even way far off in the future. But once again, I never say never, right? But of course, adopting a live, let live mentality and just some really easy to understand and minimal amount of rules of engagement, right? Simple. I mean, think about it. If you had to go through thousands of pages to figure out how to have any kind of transaction with someone economically or socially, be like, well, I just won't ever deal with them in your life, right? That's not how we function as human beings. That's how the state function, right? That's how these people who, like I say, these are the people who don't respect humans for what we are, what we're capable of, and how you can probably incentive these kinds of peaceful transactions or peaceful societies. Because these are the kind of people that, I guess, their whole life seen that might makes right, and force is a zero-sum game that benefits them at other people's expenses. And that is a reality, right? But once again, for most of us in society, we don't want to live that way. That's back to the state of nature. And under that scenario, a lot of people get harmed unnecessarily for no good reason other than the other person or their opponent had a bigger rock, a bigger gun, or a bigger gang. And like I say, most people don't want to live that way, and I doubt you would either. Headline of CTV News, politics, feds looking at declaring Proud Boys a terrorist organization in wake of U.S. rioting. It's being produced by Rachel Aliello, Ottawa News Bureau online producer. January 10th, 2020. So once again, folks, here we go. Let's just start out, right? So Proud Boys, first of all, what happened in Canada? What did the Proud Boys do in Canada? Not a goddamn thing. Even down in the U.S., Proud Boys, this is a group. So this group is comprised of individuals. Why not just target the individuals that did something wrong or performed criminal acts, right? This is the problem with this kind of collective groupthink or collective punishment. Is why are you targeting an entire group or organization when obviously not everyone who would identify as a Proud Boy, are terrorists or committed a crime in any way? And they definitely didn't do so in Canada. You're talking about down in the US, right? And I don't even want to get into that. I'll deal with that in another video, right? But just talking about this. What the hell does this? What does calling these people and terrorists, right? Fucking terrorists, or they're going to want to call them a terrorist organization, the Proud Boys, right? I mean, come on, folks. You not see the target on your forehead? And even your opponents, just because you're sitting back and reveling, enjoying the fact that there's a target on your opponent's forehead, apparently you haven't taken a long enough time or thought about this critically and realized, are you 100% certain that you specifically are the one that they're going to protect? Really? You? Really? You're so perfectly aligned with these authoritarian collectivists that you're not worried at all that they might come after you? Really? All right. Okay. Anyways, Ottawa. Canada could soon be adding more extremist groups like the Proud Boys to Canada's list of recognized terrorist organizations in light of the pro-Trump rioting in the U.S. Capitol, according to Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness Minister Bill Blair. And I mean, come on, folks. And once again, I don't like using these terms and tossing them around so willy-nilly and loosely like this, but come on. I mean, if you want to talk about a fascist, it's not just how he looks, it's how he talks, his posture, everything that he exudes, and his positions. Like, think about it. Think about what he suggests today. Because what is it? If you put someone on a terrorist list, well, what do you do to people that you deem a terrorist, right? Well, you want to fuck them up hardcore, right? So Bill Blair wants to fuck these people up hardcore. Is it because he's so benevolent or because he's an authoritarian collectivist himself, right? Like I say, these people truly do project, because this is a guy that's part of a government, which is a representation of force. Government is force. It is 100% a representation of force. That is what government is. Deal with it, peeps, right? Sorry. Hate to burst your bubble for those who don't understand that as of yet. But the Proud Boys, what kind of power do they have? What kind of political power or clout do they have? Obviously none. Like zilch. Even their man, right? If you say that Trump was their leader or whatever, their man has even been kicked to the curb by the establishment. And I got to tell you, folks, not just a devastating, but just almost shocking manner in how the relentless attack and how they all coordinated and consorted their efforts to bring Trump down, right? But yet, Proud Boys, yeah, that's what you need to be worried about. It's Proud Boys, yeah, not Bill Blair that has an actual right gang that represents a monopoly of violence in a country. But no, you got to worry yourself about the Proud Boys, right? Yeah, that's it. In an interview on CTV's Question Period, Blair said Canadian national security officials are actively gathering intelligence about groups such as the Proud Boys on an ongoing basis. Well, I would just say, if you're part of the Proud Boys, and if you're paying attention, or if you get to watch this video, or if you know anyone in the Proud Boys, sue the living. This is all unconstitutional. Come on, we all know this. You can't just inadvertently or just choose that you're going to spy on groups and just because my feels or, I think they might be a threat, right? No. We're very mindful of ideologically motivated violent extremists, including groups like the Proud Boys. What? Ideologically motivated violent extremists, the Proud Boys? That's Gavin McGinnis, right? And have you seen the kind, and it's like, isn't it a black guy, right? Or a Mexican, half black? I don't know, like I say, but aren't the Proud Boys mostly comprised of people that, if you knew them personally, be like, that's just a normal average. But listen to the way this is being presented, right? Holy crap, folks. Like, come on. Ideologically motivated violent extremists. That's how they're labeling the Proud Boys. People such as Gavin McGinnis. Or actually, I don't know if even Gavin's even part of it anymore. But like I say, well, if these are violent extremists, where are the reports of all the violence that has been representative or reported on? Because come on, somebody out there, offer it up to me. Or shouldn't it be here? Shouldn't there be a list of all of the violence, right? I mean, if you're going to try to sell this narrative, but that's the thing, they realize that most Canadians will fall for this shit, hook, line, and sinker, because Canadians just don't think critically about things. They truly do. They have faith in their thought leaders and their political overlords. And that's a scary, scary proposition, folks. And I recognize this. I am fearful of a lot of my fellow Canadians and just how unbelievably conformist they are, right? They just, whatever their masters tell them, they just accept it as being 100% truthful. Never question that shit. You know how scary that is, right? That's probably one of the scariest propositions ever. People who just will not even attempt to think critically at all about issues that have such a profound effect on us all. They're white supremacists, anti-Semitics, Islamophobic, misogynist groups. They're all hateful. They're all dangerous, Blair said. We're working very diligently to ensure that where the evidence is available, where we have the intelligence, that we'll deal appropriately with those organizations. right? I mean, I can just picture Bill Blair right now getting ready to put on those fucking, those hard knuckle gloves, right? It's like, or brass knuckles. Like, I'm getting ready to fuck you up, man, right? Come at me, bitch. No, but like, that sounds like the mentality of a guy that he loves him some violence. He loves him some escalations. It sounds like someone that wants to go to war with these folks, right? Politicians on this side of the border, including federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, have called on Canada to reassess the domestic terror threat within Canada. Singh was quick to call on the feds to declare the Proud Boys, a far-right organization founded by a Canadian, a terrorist organization. It is more urgent than ever that the government works to immediately ban and dismantle all hate organizations operating in Canada, Singh said. So these hate organizations, are they saying hateful things? Well, what's Singh's response to that? Oh, if someone says something that's hateful, well, you should use force against these people, right? That's what it's all about, escalating, right? It's all about promoting violence, not trying to tamp it down. I mean, if you want to tamp down violence, is this the kind of rhetoric that you would use? Come on. Obviously not. This is someone that's literally constantly trying to poke, right? That's like if you walked up to a bear that hasn't eaten in a month and you're just sitting there like poking at him. Members of the extremist group, whom U.S. President Donald Trump told to stand back and stand by in the wake of the Black Lives Matter protests in the summer, were present at the attack on the Capitol. Seen clearly in footage and on social media sporting Proud Boys colors, patches, flags, and apparel affiliated with the group. Adding Proud Boys or other extremist organizations to the list would see them named alongside Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, and the Taliban, among many others. It would also open up a range of criminal sanctions the organizations could face. So yeah, the Proud Boys, right? A bunch of polo shirt wearing guys that say some stuff that other people don't like and act mostly peaceful. I'm not suggesting that there aren't like the odd individual in any of these goddamn organizations or groups that might, cause violence from time to time. But once again, we're talking about people who are part and parcel of government, which represent violence as their duty, right? As part and parcel of their job description, right? Are saying that we're going to come after these people. And once again, they're saying that they were there. So just because they were at the Capitol, well, wouldn't you have a link to this violence or these criminal acts that they performed? Because once again, I'm waiting to see them. Nothing, right? But if they had it, if they had the evidence, if they had any proof, don't think for 1 minute they wouldn't have shared it right fucking here to put it in anyone's face, right? To give them actual real credibility. No, once again, they're going to rely on people's ill-informed mindsets. In Canada, there's lots, and that's quite prevalent, and their conformity to their rulers and the media mouthpieces who form their opinions. So they don't have to, they don't even, I mean, even me, I'm just a lowly nobody, one guy that does this stuff, but I'll share all the links to everything that pertains to anything I talk about. Not these guys. No, nothing in that they're going to show. And like I say, find out for yourself. Take the time out of your day, find it for yourself. Show me where anything they've got linked in here where they can say, oh, look, there's the Proud Boys. What? Killing people needlessly, using violence, punching people recklessly, unprovoked. And show me, where's your fucking evidence? They ain't got nothing, and they know it, which is why they haven't offered or provided it. Anyways, folks, I'll place a link to this article in the description of the video wall. But like I say, the walls are closing in. Now, as a libertarian, I'm not a Proud Boy. I'm not too worried about myself. But like I say, first they came for, then they came for, then they came for, right? Well, I've been speaking out the whole time. So it's not like I'm one of those guys that, I remain silent. But I'm just saying, for the rest of our fellow Canadians in particular, their silence is not only deafening, but it's dangerous. And it's going to cause or allow a whole lot of pain and injury to be inflicted, both socially, economically, and punitively towards a lot of people in this country for doing nothing more than challenge the status quo and the ruling establishment. And that is the real world that you live in, folks. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.